What's up, y'all? Sparta here. I'm going to be doing these outside videos more often so that I have more content to give you guys, obviously. I just want to, have something a bit less, I guess, claustrophobic than just being in my room at my mom's house. And I'm at my apartment right now. That's why you guys see the scenery. But that's not the point of the video. The point of the video, I guess, is going to be... I more want to talk about the OnePlus 8 and OnePlus 8 Pro that got announced yesterday. Price reveals and all that stuff happened yesterday, and I want to talk about that. So let's get into it. So the OnePlus 8, the regular one, has a 1080p 90Hz display. I think it's 6.8 inches. I don't remember. That really doesn't really matter. I think 6.5 to 6.8. And I think the OnePlus 8 Pro actually has a 6.8 display. So yeah, 1080p, 90 Hz, a 4,300 milliamp hour battery, and the typical warp charging, the warp charging 30T. What else? The warp charging 30T and a 48 megapixel main sensor and stuff like that. The typical specs that you would get for a flagship phone, if you really want to say that. The OnePlus 8 Pro has the quad HD 120 Hertz display, and it'll actually, operate at full 120 Hertz out of the box, as opposed to what Samsung did with the S20 series this year, where that's coming later. So yeah, and that will have a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. And the same things, but that will come with wireless charging. So the people that have been pissing and moaning about the OnePlus phones not having wireless charging, there you go. Another thing. Oh yeah, prices. The OnePlus 8 will start at $699 at the 128 gigs of storage, 8 gigabyte of RAM model, and will go up to $799 with the 256 gigabyte, 12 gigabyte model. The OnePlus 8 Pro will start at $899. Same thing. 128 gigs of storage, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and then it goes up to $999 for the 256 gig, 12 gigabytes of RAM variant. And just like with last year with the OnePlus 7 Pro, people are bemoaning the price, right? And rightfully so, I guess. Phones are getting more and more expensive, and it's kind of getting tired to have each and every... It's more getting tired to have each and every freaking phone reviewer or tech enthusiast, as they like to call themselves, just constantly saying that, oh, phone prices are getting higher and higher and higher. But they only say that when it comes to LG, OnePlus, maybe HTC would, if they ever come back. Sony. They only say that for the small players. But when it comes to Google as well, and when it comes to Apple and Samsung, nobody says jack shit, right? Because, oh, those are emotional purchases. Those are for people that have been long fans of the iPhone or the Galaxy line. And it's like, wouldn't that same argument work for people that have had LG phones since the G2, or LG G series phones since the G2, or V series phones since the V10? Wouldn't that be the same thing? Or the OnePlus phones since the OnePlus 1? Wouldn't it be the same deal? And this is more of a video talking about how I think people rag too much on these smaller brands when they try to compete, and then they get so salty when they have to go to higher price tiers because they really think that a $400 flagship phone would be profitable today. It really wouldn't. It wouldn't, man. Like, I don't necessarily think that it's wrong for people to bemoan the price, you know. But if you can't get the phone, just say that. Don't say it. Don't just say it's not worth the money, period, for any person, because that just doesn't make any sort of sense to me, right? Doesn't make sense to just sit there and constantly go on and on about how this phone isn't worth you for the money, and how LG's doing nothing different when they are, and OnePlus isn't doing anything different when they are. You guys weren't sitting there praising OnePlus for the 90 hertz display when they had it, didn't you? No, because Samsung didn't do it. And praise it for the Razer phone for a 120 hertz display, or the ROG phone too when it had the 120 hertz display. You didn't praise anybody. You said it was unnecessary, but Samsung did it. Now it's necessary. Now every phone needs to have it. Oh, the V60 comes with a 1080p 60 frames 60 hertz display. This is a deal breaker. This is a total deal breaker. But you were bitching about the OnePlus 7 Pro having bad battery life because it had a 90 hertz display. But it's a deal breaker now, huh? Because one phone has it. Well, technically 3 phones. Sorry, I'm deciding to take a little shortcut. It's kind of beautiful out here, you know. That's why I like it. And plus I can actually walk outside and record a video. But yeah, it's like, okay, if the V60 isn't worth the money, what made the regular Note 10 worth the money? The phone I'm using to record this right now, right? Hey, look, some loons. The Minnesota State bird. But yeah, like, what made the Note 10 worth the money? It came in one memory SKU. It had no SD card slot, no SD card expansion. It had a 1080p display. Still had a 60 hertz display. And no one talked about it, right? No one shat on Samsung. They just didn't talk about the phone. No one talked about the Note 10. And I guess rightfully so, because the regular Note 10 apparently doesn't get any views. But it's just stupid to me, man. It's the same song and dance every year. X company decides to do something new. Oh, it's just not worth the money. This is a stupid gimmicky feature. Samsung or Apple do it. Oh, this is amazing. This is groundbreaking. Every phone needs this. It's like, okay, motherfucker. Keep shilling out for those YouTube views. And I'll sit here and love my Note 10, my V60. Maybe if I get a OnePlus 8 or OnePlus 8 Pro, I love those. Like, keep shilling out. Keep doing it. Because eventually people are going to catch on. And people have been catching on, right? I'm trying to see if there's any way that this cannot be so overexposed. But, you know, whatever. It's a Samsung phone. What can you do? Yeah. So basically what I feel about the OnePlus 8, OnePlus 8 Pro, the pricing, while I'm not really, I don't really plan on getting the 8 Pro. The only reason I would is if the regular 8 doesn't have like thermal cooling or anything, because I do a lot of gaming on my phones. And the OnePlus 6T, that phone got super hot playing games for elongated amounts of time, whereas my G8 and my Note 10 would just stay not cool but warm, right? They would just stay at a good enough temperature to use. So, yeah, if the regular OnePlus 8 has that, I may get it. I don't know yet. That may get that may be the one I get. I don't really need 1440p, to be honest. Plenty of phones have it. If I want 1440p on a phone, I'll get like the LG V50, and that'll be my, content consuming phone. If the V60 doesn't really live up to those standards, which they will, it will. Like, I have no problem watching. Most content is still 1080p. There really isn't no point of having 1440p, really, because there are very few channels that are outputting stuff at 4K on YouTube. And even then, the YouTube encoding and the compression on YouTube is very It's very crappy, so it looks bad regardless. It doesn't look as good or crisp regardless. So what's really the point, right? But yeah, in terms of all this, I think these are going to be really good phones. For their prices, they're going to be really good phones. Performance, they're going to be really good phones. Snapdragon 865. Both are going to be 5G capable, right? Both are going to be wicked fast. OnePlus phones have one thing, and that's them being really fast and smooth, right? My 6T is still very fast and very smooth to this day. And I can still get like 8.5 hours of screen on time on that motherfucker. So it's kind of a wash, right? To sit here and be like if it goes from 8 hours of screen on time to 6.5 or something like that, whatever. I could lose 2 hours of screen on time. I don't really need it, and that's not really what I use phones for. But I don't use phones to just sit there and watch 6 hours of YouTube a day. That's not really what I do. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you guys feel about this. This is mainly just, I wouldn't necessarily say a response, but if you're one of these people that say OnePlus betrayed me, one, they're a brand that has to make money, so associating yourself with a brand like this to the point where you feel betrayed, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Like, I don't feel betrayed by LG for them being like, oh, we're trying to cut costs, so we're not going to have a 1440p display. We'll have a 1080p display. And, is that a draw? Is that a compromise? Yeah, but it's not that big of a compromise to where I could be like, oh, this is just like, this is horrible. Because guess what? LG didn't put up claims saying the power of the V series in a smaller package or something like that, like what Samsung did with the Note 10, right? But they gimped the phone in a lot of ways, and nobody talked about it. So yeah, this is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for support. What you guys feel about the OnePlus phones? Let me know in the comment section below. Have a good one.